Hi there, good day, welcome back to another comparison video. So if I tell you now that this one is more of a mismatch, with one of them being significantly better than the other, which one do you think is a better shoe? Let me know in the comments now. So Trae Young 1 versus Trae Young 2, let's get started. So Trae Young is now on his second signature shoe with Adidas. These came out not too long ago. The retail price went up by $10, not surprising, from the $130 on the Trae Young 1 to $140 US. And only Adidas, man. Brand new signature shoes go on sale less than a month after the release. Not sure if that's entirely a good thing, because sometimes it shows that the shoes aren't as popular, and that may be due to the performance. As you can see, the upper construction changed quite a lot, but it still features the same setup with Lightstrike in the forefoot and Boost in the heel. And in terms of the biggest concerns, they literally went from heel slippage to now being way too tight. Anyways, as usual, we're still going to go over each of the performance aspects and come up with a decision on which one of these is the better version overall. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing if you haven't. We go over the encore performance of hoop shoes and have comparisons just like this one all the time. All right, starting off with the cushioning, like I said, same setup with the exact same technology featured. Lightstrike, I've never really been a huge fan of it, and it is a pretty stiff landing on the toes, especially on the Trae Young 2. But Boost gives you some nice compression in the heel on both versions. Comfort level, the Trae Young 1 is just much better. The upper conforms to your feet nicely, while the 2 can be called uncomfortable in my opinion. Too much tightness pressing down and squeezing my feet. If you have high volume feet, the Trae Young 2 will be terrible for you. And with that said, for materials, I do think the Trae Young 1 is also much better. I really like Prime Knit, but on the 2, it just doesn't stretch well even over time. So flexibility is not good. Now with the traction, similar performance on the court. I haven't had any times where I was slipping in any of these two. Their traction patterns do look alike. If I were to pick one, I say that the Trae Young 1 traction performed a little bit better in terms of getting you to a hard stop. Also, the Trae Young 1 has been my go-to shoe for outdoors. It also has excellent durability, and I think the 2 should be fine as well. With the fit, there is a huge difference. In my opinion, the Trae Young 1 is best if you go down a half size, even if you have wide feet. They're very wide foot friendly, but heel slippage is a big problem. But the Trae Young 2, you should at least go true to size, or half a size up. These are extremely hard to put on. Like, I still have a hard time stepping my foot into them. So please keep in mind that the sizing has changed. Also, from the lacing system, you can see that Trae Young really likes minimal lacing on his shoes. The Trae Young 1 was a shoe with literally only 3 eyelets. And the Trae Young 2, the laces also stop really high up around the midfoot, and there's nothing at all towards the toe area. So not the best lockdown. I do think the Trae Young 2 is even worse here. They're both pretty heavy shoes. The Trae Young 2 is going to be heavier, while it's also not as wide. There is a difference in width on the same size. And one more thing is that the Trae Young 1 gives you a more low to the ground feeling. But that just depends on what type of core feel you prefer. Overall, between the Trae Young 1 and 2, you can probably tell by now that I think the first version was much better. A better comfort level, slightly better traction, and much better materials. Well, at least it doesn't hurt my feet like the 2 does. But again, maybe some of you would prefer a snug fit. I just don't like it this tight, especially when it presses down on my feet too much. Anyways, that's it for this one. Let me know what other comparisons you'd like to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.